October 1st, 2027 is when the Batman Part 2 will hit our movie screens. Before that, next September 11th, 2026, we are getting one of his foes, Clayface, in his own movie, the standalone horror movie written by Mike Flanagan. It's shooting right now, and that leaves the question, is it DCU or is it in the Reeves universe? Hey everyone, this is Digital Charcuterie. My name is James. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new to the channel, a fan of Batman, the Batman, and the DCU, hit that subscribe button, talk about it, discuss it with all of you on this channel for the foreseeable future. And let me know your comments in the down below. Are you looking forward to the upcoming Clayface movie? Is this something that's on your radar? Do you like horror movies? Are you hoping that we get a nice, decent horror movie in the DCU? Something like a Blumhouse type movie for the DCU? Is this what you're hoping for? Or do you wish that Pattinson would be the Batman for the DCU and the Reevesverse, and we just combine them all? We have one big happy family in the Batman's world. For me, I'm of both minds on this one. I really want a fun, cartoonish kind of Batman, and not campy Batman necessarily, but something a little more fantastical. It'd be a lot of fun to go side by side with the more grounded Robert Pattinson, Matt Reeves Batman that we've gotten, which is a movie that I absolutely love. And I think the Penguin series is one of the best TV shows of all time. So I wouldn't do anything to change any of that because I love what they're doing over there. But that being said, I grew up with the more fun Batman. One thing watching the new Superman movie was it brought me back to the Superman I grew up watching. Like that 80s version of the characters, a little bit more sci-fi, a little bit more cartoony, a little bit more fun, just having a good time watching it. Again, I don't even know if I like the new Superman as much as I enjoy Man of Steel, because I friggin' love Man of Steel. I will not debate that, but I love Man of Steel. But I don't know, I might like Man of Steel more, but they're very different movies. They're hard to compare even, but something brought me back, and it brings a big smile on your face. And I kind of wouldn't mind. I know people would argue Batman shouldn't do that. I think there is a Batman that does do that, and I would like a Batman who, I look forward to seeing in the movie theater, going on these big adventures with his, like I've said a bunch of times, his utility belt, just having a lot of fun with those tools at his disposal, like Batman does. But all that out of the way, Clayface, like I said, is coming out next September, a year from now in 2026, and they are shooting in Liverpool at the moment, and it's raising a lot of questions. A lot of questions as set leaks and set photos are starting to make their rounds, and we're learning more and more about everything that's going on within this world, within the universe that they're building. The question always will remain, until we get a definitive answer of who Batman is in the DCU. Who the heck is Batman in the DCU? Clayface is officially rising out of the shadows as the DCU's third film, set for release on September 11th, 2026. And with cameras now rolling, the set leaks have unleashed a storm of speculation and awesomeness. This isn't just a monster movie, it's our first real trip into Gotham City within James Gunn's DCU, a chance to see how this world of heroes and villains breathes on its own. But with the locations, logos, Easter eggs, and even drugs straight out of Matt Reeves' Batman universe, the question fans can't stop asking is unavoidable. Is the DCU Gotham secretly the same Gotham as Pattinson's, or are we being teased with one of the biggest coincidences in comic book movie history? We've now seen Tom Rhys Harries on set as Matt Hagen, both pre and post disfigurement, and the look is nothing short of brutal. The bloody, bandaged face is giving Major the Fly vibes, lining up with reports that Mike Flanagan's script leans heavily into body horror and tragedy, echoing Feet of Clay from Batman the Animated Series. The set photos suggest Hagen's accident sends him to the hospital, later to court, possibly seeking justice he'll never find, only to be manipulated into taking a substance that warps him into the shape-shifting nightmare we know as Clayface. This blend of courtroom drama, horror, and noir Gotham crime story feels unlike anything the DCU has attempted yet, and it's setting the stage for a villain that could be both terrifying and heartbreakingly human. But here's where things get really interesting. Filming is taking place in Liverpool, the exact same city Reeves used to shape his Gotham, with Clayface's production even shooting at the same City Hall location from the Batman. The Gotham Gazette logo is identical to Reeves' version, while the presence of the party drug Bliss, a key plot device in the Penguin, flooding the streets again, feels far too pointed to dismiss. Are these just coincidences or breadcrumbs leading us toward a Batman universe merge no one thought possible? Because if this truly is the DCU Gotham, it's one built on foundation Reeves already poured. At the same time, the contradictions keep piling up. The GCPD badges, uniforms, police cars, and even Gotham General Hospital all look noticeably different from Reeves' Batverse designs. Logos change, color schemes shift, and gangsters like Jimmy Red McCoy, who never appeared in the Batman, are suddenly front and center. Even graffiti calls out the Jokers, which could reference Joker's gang from Batman Beyond, the infamous Three Joker storyline, or simply a playful Easter egg. And while those hints keep fans guessing, the underlying truth might be simpler. Gunn has been clear that the DCU will allow creative freedom above strict continuity, meaning Gotham can look different from project to project without breaking the larger narrative. Still, the connective tissue is undeniable. References to Alan Scott's Gotham Broadcasting Company, the Mad Bomber from Batman the Animated Series, and even a sly nod to Black Canary's band suggest a Gotham teeming with legacy and crossover potential. Thematically, Clayface could serve as the perfect bridge, a horror tragedy that expands Gotham's underworld while leaving the door cracked open for Batman, whether it's Pattinson or the new DCU Dark Knight in The Brave and the Bold. So, what are we left with? A Gotham that looks, feels, and bleeds like Reeves City, but one stamped with its own DCU insignia. A villain born out of personal tragedy, fueled by corrupt institutions and experimental science, hinting at a larger, interconnected world, and a studio that seems perfectly fine letting us argue about whether two Batmen are circling the same Gotham skyline, whether Clayface connects Reeves the Batman to the DCU, or simply stands alone as the horror thriller that finally puts Gotham into Gunn's new era. One thing is certain: this is shaping up to be one of the most important comic book films of the decade. So Clayface coming out in about a year, or just over a year from the recording of this video. It's a movie. Look, horror movies, I'm really like weird-eye horror movies. They scare the crap out of me, but I enjoy watching them. I like fun horror movies. I don't know how fun this one's going to be. I like what we've heard earlier, this love triangle dynamic that's going on in this movie, how much it is on Feet of Clay, like they're borrowing from Feet of Clay. That was the inspiration for this movie, which is a fantastic episode of Batman the Animated Series. I think everybody loves that episode. There's a few that really stand out. That's one of them. And I think that this is a unique idea for a movie. And I know people complain like, oh no, the villain shouldn't headline another movie again. But look, it didn't work for Sony, but Sony didn't approach it properly. They approached it like very much like, we're doing a Sinister Six. Just get them out of the way. They just kind of wanted to get them out of the way because they felt superhero movies were a shoo-in to make a bank at the box office. And they proved that to be wrong. They proved that they did not know how to handle those characters, and they were very incorrect on that thinking. But then you look at something like the Joker, and the Joker, the first one anyway, the Joker was so successful at it that you say, oh, this can work. And then you look at, again, DC with the Penguin series, and you're like, oh, okay, if you play your cards right and you tell the story featured around the character, you can do it properly, because all villains have, every actor always wanted to play the villain because they found the villain to be more interesting than the hero. And if the case is, and the fact is, that the villain is more interesting than the hero, then the story about the villain should be more interesting than the story about the hero, theoretically. So I would say that all these villain movies, they should work. Now, do they work without the hero being interjected into the screenplay, into the films? That remains to be seen, but it worked for Penguin and it worked for Joker. You keep them in the universe, you keep little pieces there, so we all know they're connected. So at any given point, Batman can appear in any of these, but you don't have to have them interfere with the story that you're telling, because these characters, especially Clayface, right, the actor, disfigured, all that stuff, it works right in there. That is a movie. That is a whole story to be told, and I'm glad they're going to tell it, and I can't wait to see what they're going to bring with it. But what do you think? Is Robert Pattinson going to be the DCU Batman? Does this sway you one way or another? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I really appreciate your time. Hit the like, subscribe, and until next time, may be the master of your own universe.